And you seen his friend too. His friend had to nudge him to keep going. He was like, man, you gotta start a fight over here, you know. Which we're not out here to fight anybody. We're just out here preaching the Bible. We would have been cordial with, but that's the so-called white man. He's a violent devil, man. All right. He came up here looking for a fight. That's why he got in the brother's face like that, you know, looking hard. But no, hey, we ain't scared of none of these people, man. All right, you ain't gonna intimidate us. You ain't gonna stop us from going. See, Satan. We're having all types of technical difficulties today.
Yeah. All bad.
That's all right. Satan's just mad. Satan's just mad because we're out here. I told you this. Hey, we're gonna keep moving on the square, boys.
Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen.
Yeah, the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. So if Yahweh is saying that there's going to be a major judgment that's coming for all these different heathen nations, then why would he send his only begotten son to die for everybody on the earth, man? That doesn't make any sense. And it even tells you in the scriptures that Yahweh says the day of vengeance, the day of vengeance is in my heart. All right. So if the day of vengeance is in the Lord's heart, then that wouldn't make sense for him to have came to save all people, man. Right? Because that's the whole point of judgment. It tells you in Romans 9, is the Lord unrighteous to do with these things? He says no, but I will have mercy on who I will have mercy. He said even for the same purpose I rose up Pharaoh to show my power in him. And that's what Yahweh did with Esau Edom. Rose him up, gave him all that pride. That's why they were so prideful. Those were Edomites, man. That's why they were in that prideful state. Because Yahweh lifted up their head like that, so that the Lord can show his power in them. Because these Edomites, they think that they're going to win the race war, man. These Edomites, they think they're going to squash out the Jakes, man. But that's not what's going to happen, all right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are all going to come together under one banner to destroy you Edomites, man.
Well, it's beautiful because we are, although they're like Trump, we are rooting for Trump as well, because you know what? Trump is going to lock down America. He's going to build that wall and leave you Edomites in here, man. And Isaiah tells you it's going to be as a chaste rope, that no man taketh up. So as you Edomites are trapped here in Babylon, you're going to be getting pounced on by Jake. Pounced on. And the Lord does hate all you other nations, man. Because in Revelation 19 and 15, I'm going to get it. It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. To smite means to kill. So the Lord, he's going to kill you nations, man, you other nations. He's going to put you into slavery. He's going to shoot missiles and lasers upon you. Okay? Smite isn't a peaceable word, man. And who's the top nation that came up against us was you Edomites, man. You self-proclaimed white people. Okay? It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. When you rule over somebody, that means you control them, you possess them. Hence the term rod of iron. Iron is rough, it's strong. So when the nation of Israel rules over all these nations, we are going to be hardcore. Okay? Hardcore. You're going to literally be in bonds, chains of iron. Psalms 149 says to bind their kings and nobles with fetters and chains of iron, to execute judgment upon them. with a sword, a two-edged sword. Alright? We gonna be nasty, man. We gonna get down and dirty. Okay? And it says, and he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahweh. Wrath is anger. When you tread wine in a press, you smash the grapes. Yahweh Shai said he's going to stain his raiment. They're going to be covered in blood. Okay, of who? From other nations, man. Alright, it says we're going to wash our feet in the blood of the wicked. We're going to be doing all kinds of dance moves in your blood. Okay? As harsh as it sounds, it's going to be a righteous thing. A righteous event that takes place in the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be on the soil of the earth. All right. Everybody knows that the bad dog, the rabid dog, has to be put down. Okay. You can't keep a rabid dog around. All right. The righteous are going to have their day. The triumphing of the wicked is short and but for a moment. The joy of the hypocrite, Esau.
Yep. This Psalm 149 and 6, let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
And punishment upon the people, man. When you punish somebody, all right, just look at that movie, The Punisher. This guy would go around killing motherfuckers, man. He was called the Punisher. He was a spirit of vengeance, man, if you will. Okay? And that's what the elect and the 1/3 of the nation of Israel are going to do in the kingdom. All Israelites, Slagia. All Israelites. You're going to execute punishments upon these other nations for their wickedness that they've done on the earth. To the 12 tribes. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
When somebody is bound with chains, that's them being in a difficult situation. Man. They can't escape from that, man. And it shows that they're being possessed. Okay? The plowman shall overtake the reaper. We're going to put all our oppressors in oppression now. Alright? We're going to put chains on them. Okay? For Jakes that have been in jail, been incarcerated, or just have been handcuffed by the police, you know that them chains, they hurt them. Okay? Right?
To execute upon them the judgment written.
The judgments that are written in these scriptures. Okay? Their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Those are the type of things that you're going to have to go through for the heinous atrocities that you've done to our people. Okay? That you've done to all the nations. Okay? Because, you know, F the other nations, we don't care about these other nations in a sense of feeling sorry for them. But you know what? Even you touching these other nations, you're touching our possessions, man. Okay, when you read the book of Ezra, it says that he created everything for our sake. Even the other nations were created for our sake. So what you're doing is you're damaging private property, man. And you gotta pay for that. You go around breaking into cars, you gotta go to jail for that. So by you dropping bombs on these other nations, doing these atrocities upon these other nations, you're gonna have to pay for that. Because they're our property. Alright?
Here's Revelations 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Esau led all nations into captivity, but the apple of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's eye.
We drink hella water, dude.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The so-called white man put us into slavery. Okay? Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
He was killing us with the sword. They're shooting us out here in these streets. Okay, Christopher Columbus. All right, when the crusade was actually the Turks were coming against Constantinople. When the Romans ransacked Jerusalem. Okay, that was them killing us with the sword. So in return, we are going to kill them with the sword, man. All right, and it's going to take place during the race wars when America is falling. And it's going to overtake them in the kingdom. Okay? In the kingdom, Jake is going to have swords, man. Certain brothers are going to have spiritual power with their actual physical sword imbued with spiritual power. Brothers is going to have swords that are glowing like lightsabers. Brothers are going to have swords that are lit on fire. Brothers are going to have swords that have electricity around them like the Highlander. Okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, everything.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Everything that Esau wants to do, everything that he portrays in his movies.
Evolution, yeah, the whole skin color thing is to evolve faster, just let you know that, to create conflict and inferior. Like me, I'm a single father, a single mother.
Hey man,
so
Israel is gonna be able to do all these things, man. Except Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna give Israel the power to be able to execute vengeance upon the heathen. Alright, punishments upon Esau, Edom with spiritual power, man. Alright, to be able to lift you up in the air and slam you on the ground with spiritual power. It's good, hey man. The nation of Israel is actually going to, that's the blessing that Israel has, man. And all of Israel is gonna be super in the kingdom. You know, your punishment is going to begin with America collapsing, man. All right? America collapsing. Yeah, but we're not talking to you, man. You don't want to talk to us. Why are you even worried about it? Why are you even bothering us, bro? Just let us preach the word. You could just listen. Just let us preach the Bible. We ain't doing nothing to you. I'm not doing anything to you, man.
He's talking about like why Jesus drank wine and traveled the world.
We didn't do nothing to you, bro. Why you up here bothering us? You got all these people up. You got all these people. You could go into La Victoria right now and go ask them about Jesus drinking wine. Why are you asking us?
They're better than him. That's why his wine sucks. He says hardcore, right? And the ghetto.
So that, hey, and you're going through your punishments right now because what? America, the crown jewel of you Edomites, all right, the capital of Esau, Edom, all right, is being destroyed right now, spiritually, physically, financially. All right, America is collapsing. All these other European nations, France, Greece, they're actually collapsing, man. Germany, all right, Germany's catching all kinds of hell from all these different, they call them immigrants, the migrants that are going in, just raising hell over there, man.
Because Germany is one of the strongest toes within the beast. Germany, I believe, Britain are the strongest one. That's why they want that Brexit. Britain wants it, okay? Because they have to support the weaker toes, like Greece, okay? Spain. They're becoming weak, and they have to. They need Britain and Germany to crunch them up. And that's another thing that's going to get this third world war popping, man. Because what Trump's doing is fucking with the money and the system of all of Esau. This whole empire. The beast shall hate the horn. Okay?
Hey, you got all these different trade agreements with these other nations. And so what Esau is doing is destroying relationships between his own people and these other nations.
The INF, the nuclear deal between America and Russia. Okay, the JCPOA, that has to do with Iran. And Britain and France and the EU, the whole economic community, they're cheering Iran on. They're saying Iran is totally in compliance with the JCPOA. They are creating whatever they're doing legally under the JCPOA. But America don't want that because America knows that Iran is creating missiles, creating advanced nuclear energies, which they can sell and boost their economy. Which, if your economy is strong, you can create a stronger military, which America don't want. Because why? America has to defend Israel, and Iran is going to destroy Israel, the land of Israel. Okay. Iran and Hezbollah are saying that they got nukes that can destroy Israel. They get out of pocket. Alright, and Hezbollah already defeated the Israeli military in different accounts in the 90s and 80s, man. Okay, them so-called Israelis, they ain't shit, man. They need America, which has a lot of jakes in the military to back them up. Okay, Esau cannot do nothing without Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man.
Hey man, that's why when the world goes to war, they're gonna bring back that draft, man. And they're gonna draft a lot of